to achieve sustainable development. My fellow colleagues, this is the biggest question development faces across the world. For us in Nigeria, the challenge is the same. Nigeria had just come out of a general election a few months ago. The process, the hopefully the days where elections lead to instability and conflict in Africa will become a thing of the past. In the days leading to election, many analysts outside Nigeria believe the elections were in a serious crisis. Well, events turned out differently. Nigeria went ahead to conduct a most peaceful and most transparent election in its history. How do we guarantee better life for our people in the midst of terrorism and insecurity? Like most other countries, terrorism has been a clog in our will to sustainable development. Since 2009, we have seen many of our innocent citizens brutally and senselessly murdered and others rendered internally displaced. We have seen over 200 girls from Chibok that took the world attention. The idea of a 15-year-old girl as a suicide bomber, wherever it might be in the world, be it Middle East, be it South Africa, South America, Asia, or my country, Nigeria, is not the world of our dream. It is not reflective of a world where there is sustainable development in its agenda. Surely it cannot also be treated as a local problem. Terrorism is evil that we must confront. Its brutality, purposelessness, borderlessness makes it imperative that we must adopt a global approach to tackling it. For us in Nigeria, the new leadership led by President Buhari, the new leadership at the National Assembly, it is time for us to act. You have in us a reliable partner, and we must confront the Boko Haram, the greatest threat to us. Thankfully, our military has in recent times significantly degraded the morale and capacity of the insurgents and ensured the new settlements being liberated. The flight of people fleeing conflict zones in search of peace and better life must task our abilities where we must build an inclusive, sustainable development, one that sees them as having a share in this new world agenda. Today, more and more people have become displaced by conflict than ever. This displacement is creating a new kind of conflict. In my country alone, we have seen displacement of over 2 million people and over 10,000 children orphaned by the Boko Haram conflict. Madam Chairperson, the human misery has been unspeakable. I had the opportunity to spend the entire day visiting many camps, seeing children and women in this poor condition. It is horrendous. Only a veritable and deep-seated commitment to upholding democracy, promoting peace and sustained development can lead to actualization of a better world. We must commit to building a world centered on improving the well-being of humanity and look to future with unyielding determination. The legislature surely has a critical role to play in providing the underpinnings that will help create a new global regime that is able to deal with these challenges. Fortunately, finally, the United Nations has taken the right steps in involving the legislature early in the process and adoption of the Sustainable Development Goals. We must act now. We must act in unison. We must play a role. The IPU has a duty of galvanizing member state support and actions in these regards. Most of all, and more importantly, whatever we do, we must keep in mind that without peace, it is impossible to achieve sustainable development. I thank you all for your kind attention and wish you a fruitful deliberation.
Thank you very much. Now, Madam Laura from Italy, followed by Mr. Oktay Asadova from Azerbaijan, Chairman of the National Assembly, Azerbaijan will be followed.